Hello, namaste. My name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can study in France for no money at all, for absolutely free, how you can fund your own education if you don't get a scholarship, what are the different pathways to study in France, etc. We're going to be covering all of that today, so if you are interested in knowing more about France, then stick around. If you're looking to invest in cryptocurrencies, my suggestion to you is use CoinSwitch. Why do I suggest that? Well, as a student or even as a professional in today's busy world, you want to make sure that your life is super duper simple. CoinSwitch has a super easy interface. It is literally like ordering food from Swiggy or Zomato. I used this app when I was in India and I was actually amazed by how super smooth the interface was. All that it needed was my KYC, which was approved in a couple of minutes. So I went in, uploaded my KYC. Once it was through, that's it. I could literally pick from a variety of cryptocurrencies that existed, not just Bitcoin. So currently they have over 75 plus cryptocurrencies for you to choose. You can go ahead and pick what is it that you like. Now, what I also love about CoinSwitch is the fact that you can start for as low as 100 rupees. If you want to be an international student who's trying to fund his or her education on their own, then I know you don't have a huge pool of money and you want to invest minimum pool of money in safest spots. So you can start off for as low as 100 rupees on CoinSwitch. You can buy whatever you want in terms of whichever cryptocurrency you want, start for as low as this. And we all know the returns that you get from cryptocurrencies is massive. So you eventually end up getting decent returns if you look back in future. I personally have made a decent amount of money on these, so I'm not going to complain. Over 9 million users have already registered and have been using CoinSwitch. To make your journey slightly easier on CoinSwitch, I'm leaving a referral code down below. This will give you 50 rupees when you first sign up, so you can have an easy ride when you're just starting off. I want to start off this video by just saying that there are a lot of myths about France that I want to bust. First, a lot of people think that the only language or mode of communication in France, in the entire country of France, is French. And that's not true. In fact, there are many courses, above 1600 courses to be very honest, that are available in English. Also, there are regions in France, especially southern France, that is pretty good with English. You can survive there with basic knowledge of French or no knowledge at all. And the French government subsidizes you, also pays for you to learn French once you move there. How do I know so much about France? Well, I had the good fortune of doing 4 work trips to France. I've worked extensively in France and I happen to live in Canada. So I think that counts towards my knowledge of France itself. All right, so let's talk about why you should be studying in France first. Reason number 1, France has one of the cheapest quality education in the entire world, world. I want to stress upon this topic because this is so important. I don't think a lot of us realize that a lot of French universities, 1, offer you a lot of courses in English, 2, offer you quality education, and 3, offer you education that is highly subsidized. In a regular public university in France, the government of France, the French government, is paying 2/3 of your cost. You are only bearing 1/3 of the cost, which means a lot of the cost is subsidized. A lot of these universities are free to begin with, and if they're not free, the government of France is making sure that they subsidize your entire education so you can move, study, do part-time work, etc. The second reason is just the fact that there are so many courses available in English. I already mentioned there are over 1600 courses that are available in English. A lot of these are fully English, above 1,000 for sure, are just 100% in English, and you don't need to know any French to even get your admit. In fact, you will have to write your IELTS or TOEFL to make sure that you have the English requirement that France needs for you to move. It is always suggested that you learn a little bit of French, but if you cannot learn French from your home country, you can always move to France and take benefit of the government programs that are available and learn some French. The third reason why you should consider studying in France is because they have no crazy admission requirement criteria. From my understanding, they're very well versed with our education system in India, so they know what ISE is, they know what ICSE is, and they're not like UK, US, or Canada in the sense that they do not want you to be exceptional students your entire school life. So if you've been an average student, then I think you're better off in France because there are just so many scholarships and so many grants available, and these universities don't have any crazy requirement. They expect you to have decent scores, decent grades, but again, not anything like the US or Canada. The fourth reason why you should be considering France is because of scholarships. Now, this may actually sound unbelievable to you, but France has over 273 scholarships. just the categories. This is like literally simple category of scholarship available, 273 in number. You can imagine they probably have thousands and thousands of international students getting scholarships every year. You guys know I create a lot of content, and I have to be very honest, there is rarely a country that I've seen where you have so many scholarships for international students. And the way to find these scholarships, these English universities, all of that is also extremely easy. There's only one website that you need to access, and that website is Campus France. I know this is not pronounced as Campus France in French, it's probably pronounced as Campus France, but I do not want to mess up that pronunciation, so I'll stick to my English pronunciation or whatever I can make of it. They have multiple filters on there, and I think this is an amazing website. The government has put everything together. This information is also updated every year, so instead of going to maybe an educational consultant or even to an agency that can help you, I recommend start your search with just Campus France. I spent about 2 hours to prepare for this video, and I got so much information myself. There are two particular filters that I loved. The first one is studying in English. So there's an entire filter for the courses that are available in English. If you just scroll down onto the main page, you will be able to see that there is an entire section for English courses. So you can just go on there. And then even in that section, there's another filter for a 100% English course. So if you don't want any French whatsoever, that's the filter that I chose. You can go ahead and then click on that, and it'll show you a list of 100% English programs. They will have no French whatsoever, so you don't have to sort of know French right when you enter. But of course, you need a little bit of French, which you can pick up once you start living there. The next section that I loved on this website is a scholarship finder. Now, this is amazing because it breaks down scholarship according to nationality. So whatever country you come from, there are specific scholarships that apply to you. And you can again go ahead, find it on Campus France. On the left side, you'll find the location filter, which is basically a nationality filter. So I filtered for India, and I came across a bunch of opportunities, a bunch of scholarships that exist. Now let's talk about a very famous program in France that exists, which is the Apprenticeship program. I do not want to pronounce the French word because I know I will butcher it up, but basically this is a work and study program. A lot of people have been able to move on this particular program to France. It works for all level of studying, but you'll see more opportunities for, say, master's and PhD. What this means is there's basically a contract between the school, which is basically your college or university, you and an organization. There's a tripartite agreement in which the company, the organization, agrees to pay for your entire education. So whatever the education amount is, the company will pay that to the college. You pay nothing. Apart from that, you work in the company. So you basically are doing a full-time apprenticeship. This could be 6 to 9 months, and you get paid. France actually ranks high in terms of minimum wage on the OECD list. So even if you make minimum wage, it is a decent amount. You will be able to pay for your living, your other expenses that you may have, and have a tiny bit of saving. I'll not say you'll have crazy amount of saving. You'll have a tiny bit of saving to sort of just get around if you want to travel, if you want to see Europe, etc. Again, if you want to find the apprenticeship program, you may have to do a little bit more search. I was able to find some universities, which I'm going to list, like the University of Paris-Saclay, and this another university that I absolutely do not want to pronounce because I know I will butcher the name again. Of course, looking for an apprenticeship program will take more effort on your end, but I think if I can find so much information in just 2 hours, you can definitely put some more time and find more information. Now let's talk about costs. Now, if you actually have to go and study in France, what is it that you end up paying? So France, like I said, is super cheap. If you go to a public university, you will end up paying about 3,000 euros for an entire year. That's nothing. That's literally peanuts if you ask me. And you can easily work part-time or full-time if you're working on the campus and make up that money. So I'm sure as an international student, if you are trying to fund your own education, you will be willing to work. If you work part-time, you will still make a decent amount of money. I always suggest that you work full-time, which you can do if you work on the campus or if you have an internship or any apprenticeship. So if you work full-time, you will obviously make more money. This way you can take care of the 3,000 euros, which is literally an annual charge, and you can take care of your living, stay, travel, etc. I do want to mention that travel, local travel especially in France, is heavily subsidized for students, and if you're doing an apprenticeship, that's covered by your employer. Also, if you do an apprenticeship, your healthcare benefits are also covered by your employer. So there are a lot of benefits. The other thing that I always recommend if you want to fund your own education is to have a savings mindset. Always remember that people don't become rich by just earning money. Nobody becomes rich by having a pool of money, by taking a salary every month and putting it in their bank account. You have to get into the investing mindset. So build a saving and an investing mindset. In order to build your saving mindset, what you can do is just go online, do a little bit of search. You can probably go on Facebook Marketplace, do a little bit of search in terms of rental units. You will understand what you can expect in terms of cost. then you can also watch a couple of videos on YouTube like you're doing right now and figure out the monthly living costs. So say your groceries, your travel, etc. From my understanding, if you're not living in Paris, you will not be paying or you will not be shelling out a lot of money. In fact, a lot of the southern areas of France and the suburbs of Paris are cheaper for you to move. And you will be able to cover all your expenses, including your education and your living, travel, etc., with just working part-time. But again, go do that research yourself. So that is number one, your savings mindset. Number two, building up your investment mindset. You have to start investing that money so that money can then earn you more money. The best way to do that is by investing smaller chunks of money in different categories of assets. One of which is cryptocurrencies. You guys know your girl loves cryptocurrencies. I've been investing in them since they were out because I feel like this is so new and so much more fun. My parents never invested in cryptocurrency, so this is something that I did not get any sort of traditional knowledge from. There was no transfer of knowledge. I learned about cryptos myself, I invest myself, I take all those decisions myself, and I just feel mentally so financially independent. If you're looking to invest in cryptocurrencies, my suggestion to you is use CoinSwitch. Apart from that, I'm also leaving the link for Campus France down below. All the screenshots that you saw in the video, please make sure you go and try them yourself. I'll also leave some names of universities down in the description box so that you can see, check them out, get the feel for yourself, and see if they work for you. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel because I keep creating crazy content like this. And I promise to see you in the next video. Until then, make sure you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.